All right, guys, we're on Beowulf 16. Beowulf number 16. And more, the Lord of Herat ordered treasure gifts for each of the Geats, who sailed with Beowulf and still sat beside him, ancient armor and swords, and for the one murdered by Grendel, gold was carefully paid. The monster would have murdered again and again had not God and the hero's courage turned fate aside. Then and now men must lie in their Maker's holy hands, moved only as he wills. Our hearts must seek out that will. The world in its long days full of labor brings good and evil. All who remain here meet both. Hrothgar's hall resounded with the harp's high call, with songs and laughter and the telling of tales, stories sung by the court poet as the joyful Danes drank and listened. Seated along with their mead benches, he told them of Finn's people, attacking Hanaf with no warning, half wiping out that Danish tribe and killing its king, Finn's wife. Hanaf's sister learned what good faith was worth to her husband. His honeyed words and treachery cost her two beloved lives, her son and her brother, both falling on spears guided by fate's hand. How she wept, and when morning came she had reason to mourn, to weep for her dead, her slaughtered son and the bloody corpse of his uncle, both the men she most dearly loved and whose love she could trust to protect her. But Finn's troops, too, had fallen to Danish spears. Too few were left to drive the Danes to their death, to force Hanaf's follower, Hengest, to flee the hall where they'd fought and he'd stayed. Finn offered him, instead of more war, words of peace. There would be no victory. They'd divide the hall and the throne, half to the Danes, half to the Finn's followers. When gifts were given, Finn would give Hengest and his soldiers half. Share shining rings, silver and gold, and with Danes, both sides equal, all of them richer, all of their purses heavy, every man's heart warm with the comfort of gold. Both sides accepted peace and agreed to keep it. Finn swore it with solemn oaths. What wise men had written was his word as well as theirs. He and the brave Hengest would live like brothers, neither leader nor led would break the truce. Would not talk of evil things, remind the Danes that the man they served, Killer Hanaf, their lord, they had no king and no choice. He swore that his sword would silence wagging tongues if Frisian warriors stirred up hatred, brought back the past. A funeral pyre was prepared and gold was brought. Hanaf's dead body was dressed for burning, and the others with him. Bloody mail shirts could be seen, and golden helmets, some carved with boar heads, all battle-hard and as useless now as the corpses that still wore them, soldier after soldier. Then Hanaf's sister, Finn's sad wife, gave her son's body to be burned in that fire. The flames charring, his uncle would consume both kinsmen at once. Then she wept again, and weeping sang the dead's last praise. The Danish king was lifted into place. Smoke went curling up, logs roared, open wounds split and burst, skulls melted, blood came bubbling down, and the greedy fire demons drank flesh and bones from the dead of both sides until nothing was left.